you can record, Clinton.
I can. We're recording, I think. Well, there now. Okay,
This recording started in 20 seconds. Yeah, we're going.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's.
Breanna, do you want to see where I built your bike at?
Sure. It's all
Hang on,
It
we
look-
got to kick this call off. We got to kick this off,
Fix
Kyle.
this.
Then we'll just let Kyle do his thing, and I'll just edit this part out, or maybe I'll leave it. Who knows? You know, with this.
Yeah, who knows?
Hey,
This
Kyle,
sounds
can I
like-
eat some of your? Can you like hand some food through the screen to me? It's pretty.
Dude, this is a full blown poor people dinner, man.
This is an okay podcast.
Hey,
already.
I'm in college. That's all I do.
Like, I don't even know if we're at the level of okay at the moment. Like, we're
Don't worry, Cade, it gets better.
Dude,
Worse.
I will mess up an entire. I will make a can of beans, like black beans. I'll just eat a can of beans.
There you
yeah.
go.
Is that what it takes to be fast? If that's what it takes to be fast, I don't want to be fast. I'm totally out on that.
It's just like you have nothing else in your room besides beans. He's got to eat some beans, you know.
Oh, college.
All right,
life.
hang on, everybody. Clinton, kick this off so we can kind of get. Not we want to continue this banter, but let's kick it off.
Okay, well, welcome everyone to.
We're not dragging Chloe through all the shenanigans, right? Are we?
I don't know, Kyle. We haven't gotten there yet. This is an episode of all the episodes of the World's Okayest Mountain Bike Podcast. This is one of them. I'm your host, Clinton Sylvie, and today, if you only, well, I don't know how much of this, you might have already heard a minute of this, depends on what I choose to leave in, but this is a very special episode because we have some actual fast mountain bike racers on the episode tonight. As promised or hoped for in our last episode, we have Cade Pummill and Breanna Goff on here right now. Cade finished second in men's pro at the BT Epic. Breanna won women's pro with some drama to boot that we're going to get into. So this podcast is really going to be all about them. Later, we're going to have Chloe Harisberger on, who won the I want to say it exactly right, high school and below girls. But she was doing, her and some of her friends were using the BT as a fundraiser platform. So we want to hear about that and what they're raising money for. This is already, I can already tell, it's going to be one of the most fun podcasts we've ever had, probably because we're not going to be talking a lot about ourselves. So, anyway,
You're welcome, listeners. You're not going to have to listen to Clint drone on about tires for 2 hours and me talk about my kids. We actually get to talk to real mountain bikers who actually ride, who actually race, and who actually have this figured out at an elite level.
Yeah, but they might like tires too, Kyle. So then what are you going to do? Then
We're going to talk about tires, but it's not going to be 2 hours with the tires.
Well, all right. Breanna. For those of you, I guess I'll just put some context here. Breanna and Cade, as I understand it, you guys are both at, is it Brevard University or college? Breanna, I'm seeing your lips move, but I'm not hearing any audio.
It's a Brevard College.
Brevard College. So, oh, wait, there we go. Wait, I heard a thump.
Can you hear me?
Now we're talking. Hey, Breanna, there we go. I was seeing her mouth move, but I wasn't hearing anything. Yes, y'all are Brevard College, and that's in North Carolina. And for context, I know Cade a little bit from some enduro days when he was pre-college, just a high schooler. That's how I met him. Kansas City area guy. Breanna's from St. Louis area, and where should we even start? So I guess we'll start with Breanna.
I think. Hang on. I'd like to. I know a little bit about Breanna, so I'm not waving that off. And ladies first, but I'd like to kind of get just a little bit of let the listeners know who you are, where exactly you're from, and what your cycling background has been. I mean, you guys are sophomores in college, I think. So give us a quick rundown, each of you guys, on that, maybe.
Breanna first.
Ladies first.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously I am Breanna Goff. I live in St. Charles, Missouri, and my cycling career, I mean, I've been riding with my dad for as long as I can remember. And so he's just kind of started me at racing. I started racing NICA whenever Missouri NICA was down. And been racing ever since. Now I go to Brevard. And yeah.
Breanna, how long have you been racing mountain bikes? So like you've been riding forever. Like I know your dad real well. And so like I know you've been riding forever. Like when did you race more than 3 races or 2 races in a season? Like how many years ago was that?
I think the Missouri NICA started as a junior in high school. So for 4 years now.
So you went from being a casual cyclist to women's pro BT epic in 4 years. I just wanted to make sure that everybody heard that and what that trajectory looked like, because that's incredible. All right. So same realm, Breanna, what disciplines do you ride? Which ones are your favorite?
Well, obviously mountain biking is my favorite, but in college I've competed in the XC and short track, and then also I raced dual slalom once, but with the new bike that
Which of course we know dual slalom is the best form of racing there is, actually, just so we all are on the same page.
Oh yeah.
And just so our listeners are all on the same page with all of this, Kyle is doing that thing he does where he's throwing out these obvious setup questions to get exactly what he wants out of the person who's
efficient interviewer.
So
whatever.
And I've known I've known Nathan forever. And yeah, I think it's really cool, Breanna. Like you said, 4 years ago, I remember when NICA kind of started, and you were like, weren't even sure it was something you really wanted to do. And now you're winning a pretty prestigious race, women's pro. So that's awesome. Cade, I don't know anything about you, so I'm excited. I mean, I've obviously seen you at races. I follow you on Instagram. You're super cool and you're super fast. So I just think that's cool. I want to know more about you. So give us the lowdown on Cade Pummill.
So what's up, guys? So I started a little bit differently than Breanna. I kind of wanted to so I was like in the skateboarding growing up for a couple years, and I was like, I got really bored of it. So then me and my friend, I wanted to do motocross, and my parents were like, hell no, like you're not doing that. And I was like, guys, come on. But I found mountain biking. I saw some Seth's Bike Hacks videos probably back in like 2018, 2019. And so me and my friend would just go putz around the yard with those sketchy X Factor rams. So you know what I'm talking about? Those like plastic ones that will kill everybody. And then I think it was like 2019, I did my first enduro race. My first mountain bike race ever, which was the EWS qualifier in Arkansas.
That was 2019. That was their first and last shot at that, because it wasn't exactly EWS level trails.
Yeah, well, so that was my first race ever.
So never raced at all. Went to an enduro World Series qualifier.
Yeah, I didn't even pre-ride half the stages. That was actually like a really that was an eye opener right there. I was like, what am I doing? I actually, when I pulled into Lake Leatherwood, I watched a dude get like hauled out in a stretcher, and I was like, excuse my language. I was like,
hey, Cade, just so you know, the guy on the stretcher probably was me.
Probably.
You know what?
were you there?
Yeah, was that? Well,
I got hauled out on a stretcher. Yes.
Which time,
stretcher.
Ryan? Because the first
Was it on the
time
pre-ride day? It was like it was the day before the race. Pre-ride. It was like mid-afternoon. Oh, okay.
No, it was race day. Yeah.
Ryan
no, it was like pre-ride day.
Out of Eureka Springs twice on a stretcher. Once in
stretcher. No, stretcher once, and then the other time I broke my shoulder. I went drove home with you. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sorry, Cade, go ahead. So you started racing in 2019 in enduro, which is when I think I met you, probably then, or maybe it was 2020 or so. Probably something you went to with Jordan.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I must have met Jordan like 2020 or so, but like I started racing enduro. I really did not want to have anything to do with it cross country at all for like the longest time, probably till like 2020. I didn't get into cross country till like my senior year of high school when I realized like I was actually good at it because I ran in high school and then like I just showed to like a Nike race and just like won and I was like cool. So then I just like started winning all these Nike races like senior year of high school and I was like, well, I might just start transitioning to this since this seems more applicable to college than enduro. So I started training more cross country and I actually started to like it for some reason. And I ride more road than my enduro. So that's how I got here.
I was going to phrase it as, you know, at what point did you start hating yourself and decide to go the cross country route? But
that's probably more accurate because I miss my big rig.
I think, well, there is something to be said for not riding on the edge and feeling like you're like potentially going to end up at the hospital every ride, which is kind of how I feel at Shepherd Mountain anytime I try to go fast. It's like, well,
yeah.
I'm going to go for it, but this could be it. It's every time.
Well, that and like riding bikes in the KC got pretty boring just because of how like the cross country I can go ride the single track and go fast the entire time, where it's like enduro it's like okay I have to go climb and then hit a downhill and it's like what 30 seconds, then do that all day. It got pretty stale after I got like all the runs dialed, so that's kind of when I started to switch.
And even to that timeline for a rider to go from first mountain bike race ever in 2019, it happened to be a World Series qualifier, but 2019 to P2 pro category XC in a matter of 5 years, like that's still incredibly impressive. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's both of you guys' trajectories super impressive, and that's. I mean, obviously you guys are working hard at it, but good God, I'm impressed.
So let's get into there's two things I want to talk about with you all. One being the epic and some of your experience there, but also after that, if it's all right with you, I would like to know a little more, if it's okay, if you want to talk about it, about the Lindenwood situation and like kind of what that was like from y'all's perspective. And you're there on the mountain bike team, and then there's not going to be a mountain bike team, and kind of how all that went. But let's start with the BT. Breanna, I don't know if you had done the BT ever before, or if this was your first year, but sort of what was your thoughts on going into it, if you had done it, if you knew what to expect or not, and just what was like your battle plan going into it?
This was actually my first time. I've watched my dad do it, but this is the first chance I got to. So my plan was obviously to just finish and go do it, but I had a time of like, I was like maybe 5:30, 6 hours was a goal, that just a time that but other than that, I was just like, I got to eat every hour, drink, and go for it and keep going.
So was there anything about it? Let me rephrase it. At what point did you realize, like, hey, I'm leading all the women, or did you ever realize it? Did you know right from the start? Like, at what point were you like, what's going on here? Like, I'm going to win this thing.
No, whenever you would pass through all of the openings where everybody's cheering for you, everybody was like, first woman to come through. And so everybody just kept telling me. At first, I had no idea where I was, and I was just tootling along. And then I was riding the whole race. What really helped me was I was with somebody basically the entire time. So like I would just hang on to the guy until he pulled away, and then I would just wait until somebody else passed me. And so then since I started with the pro, all of the like wave 2 would catch up to me, and so then that helped me keep going.
Okay, Ryan has his hand raised digitally here, so I guess we'll let him ask a question.
Well, so question for both of you guys. you guys were supposed to be racing some college stuff, and your season because of the hurricanes got canceled. When did you guys sign up for BT Epic? Because I was under the understanding that maybe it was kind of a close to last minute decision, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think it was like a week and a half before I think.
So pretty sure the BT Epic was on the same day as BT Epic was supposed to be the same weekend as Nationals before it got postponed. And I just remember Breanna being like, "Hey, you want to do the BT Epic?" And I'm like, sure. And then I was like, I don't even know if I can get signed up. And I guess Nathan pulled some strings for me and was like, "Yeah, here you go."
So that's just incredible.
Oh, wait a second. So how many? I know I'm breaking the subject here, and Kyle's waving his hand, so we'll let him ask after me. How many miles a week do you all ride in college? Like just ride every day, or?
Yeah, I try to ride every day. I mean, I think I average about 140.
140 a week or a month? You kind of cut out there. Say that again.
Or like 140 a week is like an average.
Okay, so definitely prepared, no problem. What did you want to ask, Kyle?
So it was obviously a late minute decision for you guys to do this. Did both of you know, was pro your only option, or is there a reason, did you know going into it, I've got a shot at podium and pro category? How did you base your decision to enter the pro category? Just curious, as being, college kids and never done the race before.
We just figured I'd sign up pro and see what happens. I don't know. I was just like, I kind of signed up pro and all the Missouri stuff. So, and actually usually everything I do. So,
yeah, Cade, don't sell yourself short, because I know you've entered some pretty high level races in Arkansas and nationals and stuff. So, and I know your finishes there weren't quite as high as what you're doing now, but you know what the pace is like. You know how fast a Jimmy Smith can ride. So, yeah, you knew where you belonged. What about you, Breanna?
Yeah, or I looked and there was no women in women 29 under, so I figured I would just sign up for the pro category to have some competition.
I love that. That's awesome.
Hey, Breanna, we know you brought home some nice hardware in a check, but you also brought home something else. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there on your chin.
On my chin, no, it's one of those things that you get on the ground and then you ask yourself, how did I get down here? Like, and then I just went around the corner and just slid out, and then my chin was gushing blood, and that's what happened.
Okay. So hold up here. We need. Okay. Do you know where on the course you were when this happened?
It was, I had climbed up the first sister of the three sisters, and I was going down.
So coming down the first sister, I think that might be Tammy Lynn. I'm not sure on Strava. It's I could tell you for sure. So you're coming down whichever one it is.
But I still have like 10 more miles to go.
Right. So did you think about dropping out, or were you just determined immediately, like, no, I'm finishing this? Okay, it was Heather Lynn that got you, by the way. No, it was Brandy Lynn that got you. That's the first sister. Did you ever consider dropping out, or?
No. Well, at first it was gushing blood, and so I didn't really know what to do. But I had to get out of the woods somehow, so I just had to go.
One way to do it.
But Breanna, if I recall talking to your dad, actually your dad came over yesterday and we waxed a chain together and talked a little bit about it. It wasn't like a real quick decision, like, hey, I'm going to keep racing, right? Like I think your finish time was like 5:20, but like you contemplated it for several minutes from what your dad said.
Whenever I came by my mom, she was like by the cabins about to do the last 8 miles, but I figured I should just go out and finish it.
Awesome. I think Cade's got a question. He's got his hand up. He's learning how to use this Skype stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm figuring it out. I just want to add something. Breanna broke her wrist at short track nationals last year, and it was like, you know what? She crashed at the start, broke her wrist, and then kept racing. So like, you can hit her with a truck and she'll keep going. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
She's tough. She's tough.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we don't need any of that.
Hey,
yeah.
I got something else, Cade. I'm just like, I'm picturing this race with you and Jimmy Smith, and I'm like mad that we don't have like this drone following you guys the whole time, because I just want to see it. Like, if you both show up next year, I'm not racing. I'm just going to stand at all the checkpoints, and I'm going to find ways to sneak in the woods and see what the hell is going on, because it's got to be epic. But how often were you guys like wheel on wheel with each other, Cade? Because like you finished within a minute. So let's tell us about that.
So the race pretty much started out with like everyone going on the fire road fast, and then like we dropped into a single track, and the first downhill we hit, I saw Jimmy, and I forgot, like, I knew he was fit, but I didn't know like how fit he would be, and then I forgot how fast he was on the downhill. So like, because he's pro enduro, so I watched him make like 5 bike lanes up on everybody else on the first downhill. I was like, oh, that's his strategy. So the next single track climb I passed like 5 guys, got on Jimmy's wheel, and then pretty much the entire race I just stayed behind Jimmy. I just stayed behind Jimmy, and after like 5 miles, we never saw another person. So like the first 5 miles of the race, me and Jimmy were by ourselves the entire time. And then the only time I ever got.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. What were you saying?
I was just saying, but let's say we're at mile, I don't know, 26. Like, are you like right on him? Like, what's this look like? You know?
I was behind Jimmy the entire race, and I only had a little bit of. I was pretty much behind him on his wheel the entire race. Besides, I got a tree in my spoke, so then I had to like stop, and I had to make up like a minute gap and catch back up to him. And then the last asphalt climb, he dropped me exiting the woods out of the single track with the downhill because I like completely screwed up. And then so I caught him back on the climb. And then the first time I overtaked him, the first time I led the race was like was entering the last 8 mile loop of single track. That was the first time I led the race. And then I was like, he had like a flat front. So I thought I could just like descend better than him maybe, and with the flat front maybe I could just like get the win, but no, my legs cramped up and he came around me at like halfway through the 8 mile loop, and then I just kind of like was trying to limp it home.
So where did you make your pass on him? Was your pass on the asphalt climb leaving Bass for the final 8?
No, it was like I made a bunch of time on that climb. I saw him like he was like struggling getting up that climb, and then we got to the fire road, and then that's when I hopped in this draft and then came around him, and then we were like back and forth on the fire road. He'd overtake me, I'd overtake him, and then we were going into the single track. I got a little bit of a sprint into the single track and was barely able to get around him there.
Does that sound familiar or what?
Oh man,
that was
Clinton,
me and Ryan in 2022, except I came out on top.
Hey Clinton, but somehow I feel like they were probably going twice as fast as us.
Yeah, easily twice as fast, I would say. So Cade, I don't know if you realize this. This was your first year doing the BT, I think, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the course record is 3:52:19. So Jimmy missed it by 10 seconds. You missed it by 66 seconds. All right. But that last gravel road after the asphalt climb, I think you were calling it the fire road.
Yeah.
You know, like it had like there was huge sections of it were like 3 inches of river sand is what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's not always like that. And even even the other gravel roads, which we had since we haven't had rain in so long, were a little bit kind of soft and powdery just because they were so dry. I truly believe that with just a little bit better conditions, and even if it was literally just that gravel road, because it's a solid, I mean, it's like 2 miles of that gravel road or close to it. If that gravel road is in the same shape it usually is in, you guys both probably beat the old course record. Like I could easily, I mean, 10 seconds for Jimmy for sure. I don't know how, and then even for you, you know, it might make a big difference. I did not know he had a flat front tire though. That's crazy.
Yeah, he had like 10. It wasn't flat. It was like 10 psi. It was like just enough air to where you can ride on it, pretty much.
Yeah, you two are both very close to the course record. And I would assume, I know for a fact some of the climbs because I live in Potosi, which is only the Berryman Trail is my closest trail to ride. That a lot of the climbs, especially on the east side from Brazil Creek to the Berryman Campground, are definitely rougher, more rooty than they have been in the past couple years. Go ahead, Ryan. See, you got a question there.
Not really a question, but I agree with Clinton. Like that gravel up there on the top and that figure eight was super deep. But I think Clinton, maybe we want to get to maybe kind of their trajectory with college and get into Lindenwood. We're going to have Chloe on in about 5 minutes. So just kind of keeping you on track there. That's
okay. Cool. Yeah. So you two, yeah, tell us about that. You know, we don't know. I would just like to know, okay, so starting with Lindenwood, was that, you know, are there scholarships for mountain biking? And then what happened? So you all can kind of just start and do that story however you want.
So I was looking at, before my freshman year, coming into college, I was looking at Lindenwood, like Fort Lewis was like the two. I was like Lindenwood because it's close, Fort Lewis because it's like super, like a lot of crazy fast mountain bikers came out of there. And so I ended up going for Lindenwood. I just liked the college and it was close. And got like a small scholarship. So there is scholarships because we're on varsity programs. There are club programs and varsity programs. So I came in there and like, honestly, Lindenwood was like some of the best people. Like the team was just so amazing. And then so like, I think, what was it, like a week or two before winter break happens, they just like cut our team just out of nowhere. They just like got us all in one room. They're like, hey, mandatory meeting for all fall sports or whatever. And they're just like, hey, we can't afford to have you guys. And it was just like, it was just like a really big bummer.
I'm sorry, Breanna, you kind of cut out there. I think your mic really wants you to talk loud or like cuts in and out, but go ahead with what you're about to say.
I was going to say the cycling team wasn't the only one that was cut. There were 10 teams that were cut at Lindenwood.
Well, and I know it has to do with.
You were there on a scholarship as well for cycling at some capacity, right?
Yes.
So how did you guys, I don't need to ask how you guys took. I'm sure you guys were gutted. How did that start? Where did you start from there? Did you think to yourself, Breanna, like, okay, I need to find a college that's a cycling program? Or how'd you guys kind of work together? You guys both ended up at the same college. Was that by accident, or just curious what that looked like for you?
We both were looking at different colleges. I wasn't really looking at Brevard, but I was going to go look at Milligan, and Cade was like, well, I want to go look at Brevard. And so then we both looked at Brevard and Milligan. And once I got to Brevard, it was like, I want to go here. So it was kind of a whim, but it all worked out. So.
I think the Lindenwood thing happened, if I remember from what I read, is they were trying to go Division I in more of the core sports like football and I'm assuming basketball and volleyball. I guess all their major programs. They basically just like cut everything that was not a D1 level sport. Just so their football team could go get blown out by Kansas, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. So now you're at Brevard, and I know, Breanna, you told me you ride about 140 miles a week. So how structured is it when mountain? I'm assuming it's a varsity sport there, or is it just club?
It is a varsity.
Okay, so you all have like a coach or a series of coaches, and like it's very structured.
So yeah, like every sorry.
No, go ahead.
Every athlete has like their own coach. So like we have two coaches on the team, and I'd say they're not like they're there for advice and like racing advice, but they're not like they don't give you the workouts. Like the teams don't have like not every rider on the team has the same workout. So everyone on the team kind of has a different training plan and structure. So like I have Chris Mileski as my coach, but Cole and Ned have this guy named Jack, and so everyone's on a different training plan. And so the only time we like really work out as a team is like it was Tuesdays, now it's gonna be Thursdays, and we'd like wake up and do like a 1 mile run and yoga. But so it's not like a super structured like at normal sports. It's more like go train yourself type of deal.
Got it. So Chris Mileski, obviously I know Chris. Chris is out of St. Louis, Missouri. So when you say that you have your coach, like Chris is coaching you remotely, yes, and advising on training and stuff like that. Is that pretty much what everybody? And then is Chris directly connected to Brevard, or is he just your personal training coach for your development as a rider and career?
So he's my personal coach. For me, he has me on Training Peaks, and then he gives me the workouts. What's up, Chloe?
Hey, Chloe. Okay, got it. So, and then, is there a centered coach for Brevard that is like the coach of the team? And so, or is everybody pretty much just loose on their own training program, and then you guys organize internally for races and everything?
Everyone's like loose on, like everyone does their own training. There's no like internal, like everyone has the same workout. And then we just come together for races, or like we'll have a group chat on like Snapchat, and we'll be like, hey, you want to go ride? So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing a similar workout. Let's go ride.
Well, everybody, we just had Chloe Harisberger jump on, and Breanna and Cade, you're more than welcome to just hang out on here, and you can throw in questions for Chloe as you wish. But I'm actually going to let Kyle and Ryan take over this spot. Not that I am not interested, Chloe, but they just know you better than I do. So I'm going to let them kind of run the show for the next segment here.
Yeah, and I think this is super cool, and I kind of set this up like, Cade, you're welcome to stay on. I know I told you like, hey, we'd get you on for 30 minutes or so, and we've taken more time, but you're welcome to stay on. I know you got plenty to do, but and I wanted Breanna on because I know her and Chloe are super close. Chloe, just welcome to our podcast for one, and it's super cool to have you on. You did something really unique and special this year, and I kind of got to not really get to know you. I really haven't even got to know you a whole lot, just saying hi and cheering you on. But I'll recall one thing, and Breanna, you may laugh at this, but 2 years ago at Greensfelder Challenge, and I showed up to race. It's usually the first race in the Missouri, the Eastern Missouri mountain bike races. And Chloe, you would have been 13 at the time because you're 15 now.
Yeah.
And Breanna, I know you were sick that weekend, but Chloe went out and won the women's at 13 years old. I'm pretty sure, right, Breanna? Do you remember that?
Yeah, she did beat. You don't have to bring it up. Oh my gosh.
No, hey, it's okay. You're a stud. So, but you were sick. I remember that. But I remember I got done and Chloe finished like pretty soon after I finished. And I'm like, wait, she just won women's and she's 13. So like, I know you ride a ton. Your dad is a beast. Your dad's a stud. I love your dad. He's such a fun guy. And he's been training you good. But anyway, I know Kyle's probably got some stuff. Breanna, I want you to maybe real quick, like tell us a little bit about Chloe, because you guys are, as a family are close. And then, yeah, we want to let Chloe do some talking.
But yeah, me and Chloe met doing the Missouri NICA, and we both were just winning our races, and so found common ground, both winners, but yeah, we just hang out all the time. She's gonna be faster than me before you know. She already me, so but yeah, she works hard and drives.
So I can do some introduction too. Chloe is a 15-year-old mountain biker, gravel cyclist, road cyclist, all around like full-blown training athlete in the making. Chloe, where are you from? Where's your family from? And when did you start mountain biking?
So right now I live in about an hour west of St. Louis, Missouri. But my family comes from a small farming town in Switzerland. And I've been riding a bike since I was about 3 and mountain biking since I was maybe 10.
That's awesome. So has your dad always been a mountain biker? How did you get into mountain biking?
Yeah, so my dad has always been a mountain biker, and he came over and just found all these new friends and mountain biking and stuff. And then one day we had been riding on and off, kind of. I wasn't really into the sport yet, but then we learned about Missouri NICA, and I got involved with my first team, the Warrenton Warriors. And I just met a whole bunch of new friends, and I just grew to love the sport and love the community.
So you've been riding longer than I've been mountain biking, really. 3 to 8 years. I didn't start this stuff till like 2016, 17, Kyle. I don't know. So
that's why he's faster than you, Clint.
Right. No, you know what, Chloe? I saw your finish time, and I couldn't help but think to myself, man, that's who I like. That's the person I should have latched onto, because I feel like that time I probably could have stayed with you for like until maybe the last 3 miles and then fell back. But I'm like, that's the time. Like that's the kind of time I really want right there.
What you want? She'd have dusted you and tore your legs up in 10 miles. All right,
Anyway.
so Chloe, so you're just turned 15. Was this your first BT Epic?
Yes, this was my first BT Epic. Last year I was down in Steelville because my dad did his first BT Epic. So I got to kind of look around, meet all the people, and I just got super hyped about it. So that's why I decided to do it this year.
All right. So what was your experience with the event itself? Do it again? Enjoyed it? What did you like about it?
So I'm definitely going to do it again next year because obviously I want to get a faster time now that I kind of know how it goes. And honestly, I love the course. It's really fun. It's definitely a hard mental race, I think, because once I hit 3 Sisters, it was really hard for me mentally to keep going and physically too. So I really like the race because it's definitely a challenge.
That's awesome. So, tell us a little bit too. So I don't want to get too far into you talking about your race without giving you a chance to tell us about I guess you could call it a fundraiser, but what were you doing going into this race? Who were you with? And what was the idea behind what you were trying to raise money for?
So going into this race, our goal, I was with Marlo Weiss and Amelia Rinaldi, and our goal was to just go as fast as we can and just try to get people to donate money to our cause so we can go out and buy bikes, like good quality bikes and helmets to give to kids that don't have the opportunity to ride and to get more girls and more kids on bikes.
So is the idea there maybe like in the context of and it can be whatever you want, but I'm wondering, is it like when kids maybe get like middle school, that NICA age, and maybe they want to race but they just don't have the equipment to do it or whatever? Is that kind of like the age you're targeting, or am I way off there?
Yeah. So we're definitely targeting like 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, kind of that pre-NICA age, to just get them excited about riding, and then introduce them into NICA to just take them further with the sport.
That's awesome. I thought that was super awesome. So like anybody that's heard me talk about bikes, like I'm nerdy about bikes, but I love riding. And so my little phrase I always use is more butts on bikes, right? So we do a couple different events through the bike shop, through Granada, that we do to help support more butts on bikes. How much money were you able to raise with your goal? And did you meet the goal, exceed the goal, or miss the goal?
So I think we definitely exceeded the goal. So our initial goal was we were going to be super happy if we got $1,500 to $2,000. In the end, we ended up getting $3,000 to buy more bikes and more helmets. So we're definitely super stoked about that, super happy, and it totally exceeded our goal. And BT Epic definitely helped us to get that goal for sure.
So where can people go? And we'll put it in the show notes if you've got I don't know if you've got a GoFundMe or a website or something. Like, where can people go now if they wanted to donate, just for the heck of it now?
So if people want to donate, my dad has a Venmo account, Christoph Harisberger, and that's where you can donate now. And we're also both on Instagram if you want to DM. So I'm Chloe H Explorer, and my dad is Harisberger Explorer.
We'll definitely put that in the show notes on the podcast so people can go that route and see for themselves, and hopefully you'll get a few more donations out of us. Not gonna keep in mind, this is just the world's okayest mountain bike podcast, Chloe. But we'll do what we can.
And hey, Chloe, I know it was like sticking around for the awards afterwards. And I think this is truly the spirit of the event. Cade and Breanna, you guys can probably touch on this. Breanna, I know you've been at the event for years, but Scott, the promoter of BT Epic, truly just loves the sport and loves providing. And he definitely hooked you up with some opportunities. They raffled off a frame or auctioned off a frame, I should say. And some individual was amazing in how much they bid on that frame. It was a beautiful frame, but good God, it brought you guys some awesome money. And I just think that's cool that Scott from BT Epic recognized what you did and gave you that platform to go out and do the awesome thing that you've done. And hopefully we can get you some more donations.
Yeah, totally. Definitely a big thank you to him. I mean, he truly went above and beyond to help our cause, and I really appreciate that.
Well, I want to know I want to know this from all three of you, since you're all still on here. Breanna and Cade chose to keep hanging out with us, which is great. I'm very happy about this. And actually, we can do all six of us. Ryan too, me, Kyle. I would like for Chloe and Breanna and Cade to help us bully Kyle into doing this race again, like we got him to last year. But let's go around and I want to hear like how much time you want to take off your time from this year and then your goal time for next year. So Chloe, we'll start with you. I think I was just looking at the results. I think you're around 5:49. So what are you shooting for next year?
So next year, my goal is I would like to hit 5:30, 5:25, somewhere in there. So definitely, I want to shave off around 20 minutes.
Chloe, that was your pace this year, though.
Yeah,
really,
I mean,
because your first 20 miles was not at the pace that you wanted to ride at. You guys stuck as a team and you rode together and you stuck together. But I think there was 20 minutes there in those first 20 miles that were off pace. I think you rode a 5:20 pace this year, or maybe 5:30 pace this year.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely did, Chloe.
I did have to stop a few times, but that's totally fine. That's part of being with the team, and I'm not upset about it. But definitely next year, I'm going to try to just be more efficient with timing and riding and just get that 5:30 for sure.
Chloe, I don't know if you remember when we were climbing up the gravel right off the start. I know Marlo was dropping back, and your dad dropped back, and you were kind of still going. And I pulled up. I'm like, hey, I didn't know the spirit of you guys sticking together, which is amazing. I think that's great. But I mean, Chloe, you would have beat me if you would have grabbed my wheel for a little bit, okay? And I know your dad's bantered back with me a little bit on text the last day or so. And he says you're beating me next year, and I'm going under 5. So I think you're going under 5 next year. So,
Ryan, so you're going sub 5 next year? That's your goal?
Why not be a lofty goal, buddy?
You know, this is a little off topic, but Chloe, just as a side note, your dad passed me after Berryman Campground when he went off on his own, probably about 3 miles after the campground or so, 3.5. And I thought he was on an e-bike. He came by and I didn't realize it was him until we did our podcast on Monday. When we were talking, he was like, oh, that's who that was. But yeah, he might as well have been on an e-bike on turbo. It was ridiculous. Like he just, hey, Clay, I'm coming by. And then out of sight, just couldn't hear him, couldn't see him. It's like he was a ghost. He was never there. All right, so Breanna, let's hear this from you.
Cade and Breanna, and I'm curious what your guys' response is, because I know a lot of times this race falls right in the middle of your collegiate season. So just curious, like, if it's not next year, like what is your goal to come back and give us that goal?
Yeah, I was like, obviously we don't know if we'll be able to race it next year because our collegiate nationals might be in the same time frame. But I'm hoping to get sub 5. I ended up with it was like a 5:21 something. So with my crash, I think I would have been sub 5 this year, but so definitely get like 4:45, something around there.
What's the all-time women's course record? Do you know?
I think it's 4:23:25 by Melissa Loomis.
That sounds incredible. Yeah. That's an incredible athlete.
Melissa's incredible. Actually, funny story, real quick. The first year I started mountain biking, I was mountain biking about 5 months, and I decided to do the OT 100. And I ran across her at a dirt crit, and she's like, "I'm doing it too." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we'll train together." Like, that was the biggest mistake. But yeah, I think Melissa Loomis holds the record right around 4:25 or something like that for a woman. So you can do it. You can do it. She trained her butt off and for many years to get that. So
yeah.
Collegiate season pending, you're thinking sub 5 for 2025.
Yes.
That's a great goal. All right, Cade, you were moments away from a course record. So I'm curious to see what you have to say for your goal pending a collegiate season, obviously, for 2025. Where are you at?
Okay, now I think your inline part of your mic is what's muted now, because when Kyle told you to mute, you unmuted that and then muted it again. But now we can hear you. You're good. Go ahead.
So, well, obviously, I want the course record. I definitely know I'm capable of it. I don't know. It depends what the conditions are, man. Like, if it's muddy one year, obviously it's not even be even close. Or like a mechanical, because it was such a perfect race for me. Like, I pretty much had 0 issues. But like, I think I could probably shave. Like, given another year or so of training, like I'm still getting a lot fat. This is only my second year of structured training, so like, I don't know. We could probably shave off like 7 minutes or more.
Wow. And hey, Cade, to segue that a little bit though, like you got second, you lost to Jimmy Smith, which is an incredible mountain biker. Like, yeah. Let's say you came back. Let's just say next year you got to come back for whatever reason, like something with collegiate or whatever, or whenever you come back. Like, I know you want that course record, but like, is it like, I also want to beat Jimmy Smith, or I want to beat Whittington, or, what else would be, other than the course record, like what's that feather in the cap for you?
Dude, I don't know. I just want to go. I don't know. At that point, it's just like, dude, I would love to battle Jimmy again. That was fun. It felt like more like a group ride than like an actual race for the first 25 miles. But But I honestly like the course record could be cool. Just I don't know. Some people before I even did the race, I was like, I think I can get the record, and some people were like, no, you can't get the record. You're not even gonna get close. Like,
Our goal is to get our names on the t-shirt.
Okay.
yeah, I want my name on that T-shirt. I don't know. I just like the race I like the race to race, and like it'd be cool. Like, dude, if Jimmy's there again, I like just the battles are sick, you know.
Well,
And like just that trail is so fun and so fast. Like it's like just enough climbing, but like also enough of descending where you can just like really save your energy and go fast.
Well, it's for anyone who said, yeah, you won't even be close to the record, they were definitely wrong on that. You were very close. And but to be honest with you though, you have to win, because even if you beat the current course record, if you don't win, then whoever beat you beat it even more. So then you still won't have it. So you got to win to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to know for you three, the last thing for me is, we are mountain bike nerds. So I want to know about your equipment. Like, what bike were you running? If you want to tell us what tires you're running, by all means. I love to talk about tires. Dropper post, no dropper post. So what do we have going here? So Chloe, if you want to go ahead and go first there.
So for BT Epic, I rode my Epic World Cup Expert. And on the front, I had a Specialized Fast Track, and on the back was a Specialized Renegade. So, and I don't have a dropper post.
Oh, really?
Chloe, did you guys change anything about your bike or setup for BT from NICA, or did you run at the same setup that you run for NICA?
I added a bit of air to the shock just because the terrain was a little more bumpy and I was more likely to bottom out than at NICA. So I did add a bit of air to the rear shock, but other than that, it was all the same, plus the added bottle cage.
Oh, right. Okay. All right, Breanna, you're next.
I ride a Santa Cruz Blur, and if anybody who's listening to this knows I don't know much about bikes, so they would probably know better than I do what I have on my own bike.
So Kyle, what was Breanna riding?
I'm not gonna. No,
I can tell you exactly what Breanna was riding. She was running a 2.4 Recon Race in the front and a 2.35 Renegade in the rear. She had a dropper post. I think, did you crack your rim at this race?
No. I saw my rear wheel, my rear wheel, my rear air, so I was not running my regular rims.
And then did you guys, Brandon, did you change anything at all for the BT, or did you race it the same way you race it for Collegiate?
It's the same.
Kyle, I'm gathering we could have swapped bikes like on her and she wouldn't have known.
And she probably still would have absolutely won.
Yeah. Cade coming through clutch with the details on Breanna's bike.
All right, Cade, you're a nerd. We're all nerds here. Tell us about your.
Okay, so I just got it like a month ago, or 2 months ago, or I don't even know. I got the S-Works Epic 8 with the flight attendant. I got like a really good employee discount on it, so I just figured might as well ball out.
Oh yeah,
and then
were you on like a 9er before? I think
I was on a 9er Rocket that like barely worked, so I was tired of it. I was like, I need a better bike. But I was running.
You're on a rocket now, dude. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's great. The changes I did for BT was on the flight attendant. I made the bias adjustment more towards the lockout by 1 click. So it locked out and put it in pedal mode more like faster. And then I added like 10 PSI to my shock because I knew I'd be carrying extra weight on my bike. So I was carrying all of my nutrition, 2 bottles. My nutrition, 2 bottles, an inner tube, multi-tool CO2, and that's it. But like that was like extra. Usually I just ride with like 1 bottle or like 2 bottles and like not an inner tube or anything. So I knew my shock needed some extra air for extra weight. And that would perform the same. Thing. Oh yeah. I got I have a reverb on it.
I guess I was gonna say you need one to keep up down the hills with Jimmy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Chloe, can we talk you into a dropper for next year?
Dude, please get one.
So I've actually been looking at getting a dropper for a while, but it's just super expensive to get the battery powered one from RockShox. I wanted that one to.
You don't need the battery powered one.
So Chloe also has a play bike that has a dropper on it, so she knows what a dropper is. Chloe, what's your play bike that you ride fun stuff on?
So I have a Specialized Status 160. It's a mullet too, so I do a bunch of like downhill and jumps on that one. And Kyle definitely helped me build that one up, so thank you.
With the setup questions, I did not know you had that bike or had any interest in riding anything like that. So now I think you're more cool than I thought before. I mean,
Chloe does days at the BMX track with us in the off season, man. She's going to do BMX track with us again this year. We'll do some pump track. Yeah. She's a well-rounded athlete. She'll be racing dual slalom in college too.
Yeah, I actually have been looking at trying that out. Breanna got me interested in it, so I kind of want to try it out now.
Dual slalom is the pinnacle of collegiate racing. Just, I'm not biased or anything, but you know,
the fastest podcaster here raced dual slalom. So.
Hey Kyle,
that was the only thing
undefeated in it. My one race at Mizzou when I was on a Raleigh a bike I bought from a buddy for $200, 26-inch Raleigh, I don't know what, with a double or triple chainring up front, hardtail, and a fork that didn't work. And I raced the B class at the collegiate meet at a Mizzou in dual slalom, and I won. So, forever undefeated. That's how cool I am. It's my lifetime achievement right there. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, I know we talked about 8 being the cutoff, but I just want to know, like, so, it's getting towards the end of the season. Winter's coming up. Like, what's you guys' plans? Do you have plans to travel anywhere, like better climates and do some racing? Are you going to freeze your butt off and do some cyclocross? Like, what you guys got coming up through the winter to be ready for next year?
I think, we still have the Collegiate Mountain Bike Nationals. It'll be in Bentonville, Arkansas. I think it's like November 14th to 17th. So we still have that going on. So we'll kind of push back our cyclocross season. We'll see if we'll end up doing that or not after Mountain Bike Nationals. But yes, we still have to train for that coming up.
Wait, so you race cyclocross too?
I have not. I have a bike for it. So we will see what happens. Maybe.
Wait, you didn't race at Lindenwood?
I broke my wrist.
Oh no, I forgot about that. Okay.
She was a roadie at Lindenwood.
That's right.
Ew.
Cade, what's your plans this winter, Cade?
I'm honestly kind of burnt out on the racing. This was like the BT Epic was supposed to be the last race of the year before I kind of just settle down and start doing like fun rides. But USA Cycling kind of threw Mountain Bike Nationals in November. So I think the plan is do Mountain Bike Nats and see if I still want to race. I might do cross, but like I kind of want to like just go out and do some fun rides and play around on the big bike. And then Chris was like dead serious with me. He was like, dude, you need to take 2 weeks off the bike. And I was like, okay, I guess if I have to, Chris.
Maybe over your Christmas break, if you're back in Kansas City, maybe we sneak out for a ride if I travel to Kansas City for work and just have some fun.
Oh, dude, I'll show you the good stuff. I'll take you on like good stuff.
I was gonna say, if you're back in Missouri for Christmas, come on down to Shepherd. We'll go catch some shuttles and smash some granite.
I'd be down to go smash my bike.
I can do that.
Hey, Cade, too. I know earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, you chased some U23 stuff, some UCI stuff. Do you have plans on doing more of that and getting some points and stuff like that?
Yeah, so like my goal right now is like I really want to get some points, and so I'm gonna try and do like my dad looked at me like dead serious after like nationals and was like, dude, like let's go to every UCI race. We're gonna get you points so you can like do really well at nationals. Like he was super adamant about that. So I think next year we're gonna try and hit most of the UCI circuit and get some points because I really want to work towards getting into like a World Cup. I just really want to race a World Cup. That's like my end goal right now. I can see, and if I just get some points and maybe start building on some momentum, then I might be able to go somewhere with it. But like right now, just
Cade, how many World Cup stops is there in the U.S. each year? Is it just the one?
Dude, honestly, I know there's at Mount San Ann, and there was like one in Nova Vesta is like in Switzerland. There was like one in like Minnesota. I wanted to say that so there's like two, and then like no Mount San Ann's in Canada. There's Lake Placid is one thing, but there's like three in North America.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, I would like just to do one, to be honest.
Awesome. All right, Chloe, what's your postseason race plans? Because when is the NICA finals?
So NICA finals is this weekend. So a little bit nervous getting the last training rides in, but I'm also super excited for the last race. So after that, my coach also said I have to take 2 weeks off the bike. So yeah, I'll be taking 2 weeks off and then just doing some more strength training, indoor training, and stuff like that, and some adventure races as well. Just kind of doing more cross training and more strength training.
Don't forget about my favorite F word, fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Breanna, are you having to check out?
No, I was just having fun with the features.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hearts, and then hearts appear on the screen. She makes a peace sign and balloons show up, and like I'm like, does mine do this? Is it doing it? Will it do it? Is mine working? I'm sorry, everyone. You have to understand we're using Skype, which I thought only people over 35 even knew what Skype was. But Skype lets us record for as long as we want without having to pay. So here we are. But yeah, we were super distracted while I'm watching balloons and hearts and smiley faces and all this stuff appear on the screen, and I have no idea how or why or where it's coming from. Anyway, so we're over an hour, and I'm happy to keep going, but I don't know if anybody has, if there's do any of the three of you have something about the event or mountain biking or whatever that you really wanted to talk about and we just didn't bring it up because we weren't thinking of it, or anything you want to add? Could even be like off topic, but just sort of in the mountain bike world. Here's your chance to get it out there if you've got any controversial hot takes. Like, for example, I think for cross country, I will probably be faster if I run a wider rear tire and a narrower front tire. That's like my weird thing, but here's y'all's chance to just go miscellaneous, whatever interests you or you want to talk about.
Hot take: don't run a backpack for BT Epic.
No, you have to wear a backpack.
Or any.
I was going to say that's easier when you're only pedaling for 3.5 hours.
You have to wear a backpack.
So interesting, Cade, though. Cade, so my strategy this year was I just ran a bottle to Brazil, so the first checkpoint, right? And very quickly I did grab a pack there. And then when I came into Bass, I tossed my pack and grabbed a fresh bottle. I did like how light I felt on those longer gravel sections. I don't know if I can do the whole thing without a pack though, but yeah, I'm out there quite a bit longer than you. So,
well, weird question. If I had a second bottle cage, I could have done, because I did one bottle from the start to Brazil Creek, and then Ryan's uncle was there with the second bottle for me. Took that bottle all the way to Berryman Campground, and then my pack only holds basically 2 big bottles worth anyway. So I could as long as I had bottles at the right spots, I could totally see going without a pack. Because literally the only thing I had in my pack that I ran from the campground to Bass Creek campground was essentially 2 bottles worth, and that was it. That was the only thing that was in it. I didn't have any gels or anything like that.
I have a weird question, and I actually don't know the answer to this for you guys. Did all of you carry a cell phone for all of the race that day, or how many of you went no cell phone?
I had a cell phone, and then I called my mom whenever my chin was bleeding out.
That's why I'm curious, though, because there's pretty good sections of that trail where you could go a very long time not seeing somebody that could help you. So Cade shook his head, no cell phone?
No, it's too much weight.
Chloe, same thing?
Yeah, I did not carry a cell phone. Also because my dad was riding with me the whole time. And I knew there's pretty much, you see people a lot. So I figured I don't need it.
And I had to have on.
He didn't ride with you the whole time. When you got to Berryman, you were about 15 minutes ahead. He had to go get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Breanna,
I gotta
go
go
ahead,
with
Ryan.
Cade. I gotta go with Cade and Chloe on this. No cell phone. You can't have all that weight.
I had to have, and that, yeah.
I had my cell phone. I always do, just for, if I need to call my wife or something, or if I crash, or if I need to call help for somebody else. But my wife, on this topic, this is kind of funny. She watched a video of a guy who's like a ultra marathon runner, and he did the math about how much his phone weighs, and then if it just moves this much, which on a mountain bike you're not bouncing the phone, so it's not falling and causing a little tug every time. But he calculated over the course of his race, it was and I know it's not actually carrying this much weight, but it was 70,000 pounds of force over the course of a race coming down if it's in his pocket bouncing.
That seems obscene.
I could see, my phone weighs more than think about how much debate we do over a tire insert and the weight of that, if it's 150 or 200 grams. My phone's got to weigh up, at least half a pound or more.
No, it's not an insubstantial amount of weight. Unsubstantial, whatever. Y'all in college, you can figure it out. So that's why I was curious. I ride with a cell phone most of the time. The only thing I do where I don't do a phone usually is if I'm doing a moto race, because there's no reasonable way to carry one in moto gear. And I guess I do run a backpack in moto. I was just curious. I didn't know if you guys decided that was just too much to carry.
Well, if it's good enough for Breanna, it's good enough for me. So I'll probably be running it again next year.
Can't argue with P1 and Pro.
Breanna, what's your hot take?
On phones?
Now, in
in
mountain bike world in general.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just here to ride my bike, and obviously I should figure out how to work on my bike.
No, all right, here's a question for you. So, no, this is going to be good. This will be this is a technical bike question that you can answer. You've traditionally ridden a cross-country bike. You've pretty much had a cross-country bike during NICA, Collegiate. Now you have an additional bike. What do you notice that's different about each bike, and what do you like about it or dislike?
Oh, I can tell that my stump jumper, it's definitely more squishy, but that's just because it has more suspension on it. But I don't know. I was ripping it in Bentonville this past weekend, doing some jumps. But yeah, the Blur it's just faster with the endurance side, which that's what it's made for. So.
Okay, but you do notice a difference between the two bikes, though, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I just ride the bike.
Don't ask me. I've got 9 bikes for every different trail in St. Louis that I ride once a year.
Yeah, I have obviously the status, the 160, and I gotta say, after racing the cross country bike, getting on that thing and going up the Chubb Enduro hills, it definitely feels like a tank. But going downhill, it is so worth it. It is so much fun. I just feel like on the downhills, I feel much more secure on that bike because it doesn't like bump me around, right? So, I mean, I just feel very secure on the downhills with my status just because I know I have the travel to go over the big stuff and to jump and just to have fun on it.
My favorite thing about biking. Cade, what's your big bike, Cade? I can't remember.
I have a 2023 Rocky Mountain Altitude.
So is that a 170 bike?
Good one. Yeah.
170, 160. It's like a Fox 38 and an Owens coil with downhill tires and cush core and weighs like 1,000 pounds, but it's amazing.
I hate how much faster cross country bikes are when you're putting power down. Like it like drives me crazy how much faster my Epic is than my Bronson. But man, I like riding the Bronson so much more. Like I wish you could have both. Like at the same time.
Hey, we got another raised hand from Ryan.
This is just the way to do it. Hey, Cade, I just want to throw this out there. When you're out from under your mom and dad's wing, and your mom and dad might hate me for saying this, but you mentioned early in the podcast, you wanna get on a dirt bike, give me a holler. All right,
dude, let's do it, dude. I used to have a dirt bike at my grandma's house. Dude, when I used to have a dirt bike at my grandma's house, and whenever we were there, man, I'd be ripping it on the pastures, jumping all the the terraces and stuff, and hooning around on it. Oh, dude, I love dirt. I would there's like this dry creek, and you can just rip it up. It's like an infinite rock garden. It's amazing.
I'll take you out. I'll get you on a good bike. I'll get you on a good bike and take you out. Kyle can tell you. We'll have some fun. Get you on a dirt bike.
You're insane. Dude, I'll just pull up. You're in St. Louis. When I drive back from winter break, if you have a second bike, let's do it.
No.
They're super chill.
No. I'm not going to screw up your mountain bike racing or anything like that. You get out of college, you get out from under mom and dad's wing, got your own job, got your own health insurance, then we'll do it. Okay?
That's too far away.
This dream.
Dude, we'll have some fun.
I will say, going back to what Chloe was saying, just like with the difference between bikes, like, dude, you can just like chug and plow so much with that enduro bike, and it like whenever I hop on my XC bike and I want like my new XC bike, like my old one had like a 70-degree head tube angle, so it felt like a gravel bike with suspension, more or less, a niner. So being on the Epic, like it has way better geometry, like a 67-degree head tube angle, so I feel like I can actually like go fast downhill. But there's a couple of situations where I'll get myself into where I find out real fast where I don't have the travel or tires for this. I do for an enduro bike.
Yeah, tires has been my big noticing thing. Like the Epic has got such good geometry on it that the bike moves so well that the frustrating part for me is the tires. Like just how confident can you descend on, because the geo's there, and I adjusted my cockpit a bit to be a little bit more of a trail style cockpit rather than like the traditional XC race setup, but it's just tires. I hate how much faster descending big tires with downhill casings and inserts are at like 22 PSI versus cross-country tires. And then I hate how slow they are on the climb. Like anytime you have to pedal that bike, it is so slow.
What's frustrating is like some trails will be way more fun on cross-country tires though, because you can actually go fast down them, whereas you're on the slow rolling tires, like you can't.
Yeah, on Ryan and Cade's dirt bike note, I just got like a little mini bike thing, and I just zoom around the farm on it. It's so fun. I definitely want to try like a real dirt bike though someday.
We'll get you going.
Y'all are speaking my Ryan language. At least that's how we got our start growing up. Was all motocross all the time.
I rode moto today, but I was the opposite. I was BMX, then mountain bike, then dirt bikes.
Chloe, I mean, you've got the bike. Are we going to catch you at an enduro in 2025 somewhere, maybe?
An enduro mountain bike race.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the hope. I did Chubb last year, really liked it. So I'm hoping to find some more enduro races to just have fun and just, have fun with friends.
Chloe, are you going down to Bentonville to watch Collegiate Nationals in November?
No, I think we're going down for our Thanksgiving break though.
That's right. You guys are doing that. Okay. There's a slim chance. Like, so collegiate mountain bike racing, it will always hold a place in my heart because that's when I learned how to mountain bike race. So like I was a broke college kid with a cheap BMX bike trying to learn how to do dirt jumps for the first time in like 10 years when I was in college. And I discovered a dual slalom course, a short track course, and a 30-second downhill run at Mizzou when I started racing. So that's how I got into I actually took a student loan out so I could buy a dual slalom bike and race dual slalom at the regionals. I paid for that bike for 10 years after college. It was a $500 giant STP, but that was all I had. So I for the longest time, when Mizzou still had a pretty strong program, they would always hold the Midwest Collegiate Regional race to go qualify for nationals. And so I would drive down to Columbia and go watch that. So I've always enjoyed the camaraderie and everything around collegiate mountain bike racing. And I cannot wait for NICA. So I have an 8-year-old now, and he rips. He rides really, really well. Moto, mountain bike, BMX, all of it. I'm trying to keep him like diversely disciplined. So I'm excited I think we're 4 years away from when he can start doing NICA, because I think it's 6th grade and he's in 2nd now. So I'm excited to do that. But man, I'm really debating on throwing him in the car and going down to Bentonville to try to catch a portion of the collegiate racing. What disciplines are you guys racing in Bentonville?
I'll be racing the XC and short track.
Okay. And then Same. And then are they doing a dual slalom race or a downhill race?
Yes, the dual slalom will be at Thunderdome.
Okay, that's appropriate. That makes sense. And then what are they doing for downhill? Any idea?
I don't know. Probably you'll see some dudes racing downhill on XC bikes if I were to guess, though.
That was pretty common in collegiate, though. At least for the Midwest Collegiate, most guys did. The guys that did really well racing collegiate downhill were all on like real mild trail bikes or even at their XC bikes.
All right, everybody. I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. And I really appreciate you all coming on. It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than just talking to these two every week. So congratulations on your really good finishes. I just realized we all did not get to go around and do our goal time. We stopped with you three. That's fine. I'm the only one. Me and Kyle didn't give ours because Kyle's not ever going to admit that he's doing it because he doesn't want to commit to it. I wanted sub 6 this year.
Thank you.
We already rehashed all that on the previous podcast and why I didn't get that this year. But I'm going to say 5:45 next year. As long as this winter I don't lose my mind and actually eat right and lose some weight like I really should, I think 5:45 is totally in there. So I'll throw that out now. We'll just say 5:45 is my time. But so anyway, this is a dumb way to end the podcast, bringing myself back into it.
I want to give them a chance to thank anybody, or if there's coaches or anything like that, if they want to thank people before we sign off too.
Yeah, good idea.
I appreciate you guys for letting me be on the. I said I just appreciate you guys letting me be on the podcast. This is cool. I'll hop on if you guys ever want me again. Like, take my brain. I don't know. The BT Epic was really fun. I appreciate like my parents for being like the best pit crew, just because they were able to give me bottles, everything whenever I needed them, because I did not want to wear a pack. And everyone's always like so friendly, and everyone's always like always coming up to me and talking to me at the events. And I just kind of appreciate everyone, the whole Missouri mountain bike community.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank like my coach, Chris Rizkarek, out of Free Fly. He's definitely been putting together a great training plan for me for this race because, as you guys know, I've been going from fast-paced short NICA to long-distance endurance BT. So he definitely put together a great training plan to get me ready for both events. And I'd like to thank Laura Schreff. She's been giving me some tips about my cornering and downhill, and that definitely helped me today. I want to thank BT Epic for just raising all the money and donating that to our cause. I would like to thank Goop, who has supplied us with the amazing tire sealant that fixed my friend's flats. So that was really great. I want to thank my mom for handing me bottles and just getting me all good to go at Berryman, and my dad for making me an awesome peanut butter and jelly sandwich at Berryman, and for just hanging with me and helping me through the hardest parts of the race.
Love it.
Kind of hard to come after that, but I just, thank my parents, my mom for trying to bandage me up, but then the bandage was not staying on my chin, so I just kept going. But every time I would come out of the woods and there would be an opening, everybody was cheering my name. Kind of like Cade said, the Missouri community is so good, and everybody just cheers everybody on, and it's all good stuff. Everybody knows each other. It's like a big social event. That's why I always love the BT Epic. Everybody knows everybody, and it's just a fun social event to be at.
I have to say, you guys hit on something. I've said many times to people, like, mountain biking is probably No, I wasn't muted. Sorry. I thought I was muted there for a second. Anyway, mountain biking has got to be the most welcoming sport overall, like least amount of gatekeeping, whether you're at the downhill park or just the trails or wherever. I've been in other situations, if you go, when I was in college, I played a ton of basketball at the rec center, and man, if you weren't winning, or like if you walked in, you didn't look the part, good luck getting on the court. Or if you ever have gone snow skiing and you're at the terrain park, like, good luck asking anyone for tips. Like, everyone is just there to out-cool guy the next guy. But I do love in mountain biking, like I said, whether it's cross country or downhill, it doesn't even matter. Shoot, people are more than happy to tow you in or give you tips or whatever. At every level. I mean, the BT Epic, you truly get, you got people like Cade, and then you've got people. I met someone at my daughter's ballet studio yesterday who had a family friend that did the BT. His time was like 9 hours and 42 minutes. But like, just happy to be there, and all that. So, I love it. I'm with Breanna on that one. For sure that it's a great community, and I'm hoping with Chloe we'll get more people out there, or more girls at least.
I want to thank you three for coming on. It's super cool to send out a message and ask, and you guys are pumped to do it. This may be. No, it certainly is the best, okayest mountain bike podcast we've ever done. So thank you guys. I appreciate it a whole bunch.
This extra okay.
Extra okay. Yeah, that's the way we'll put it. And we look forward to having you guys on again and hearing in the future what else is going on with you guys. So thank you.
And thanks everyone for listening. And who knows what we'll do for the next one. I don't know how we're going to top it.